Okay, Carla, it's time to talk trends.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's trend.
So trends for 2025. I think one of the biggest ones we're seeing it a lot on runways and editorial, is a return to goth. A little bit softer, so goth decaffeinated, whimsy goth, if you will.
Girly goth.
Girly goth, exactly. So think of those like late 90s movies about teen witches and sister witches, you know. That's exactly where we're going. And I'm gonna do a couple of trends on Carla that all kind of fall under that category, but you can play with them as you will. Make them your own. But we're gonna start with eyes first. Okay, so I love a cool eyeshadow look. And in this era, because I was around in the 90s, this was something we used to do to sort of shape the eye. Take a concealer that's a lot lighter than you. You can use anything. You can use a pigment, anything like that. I'm gonna have you close for me one sec. We're gonna do this over the lid, and this is gonna make your job with your eyeshadows so easy.
Are you using this kind of like an eyeshadow primer?
Yes.
Okay.
With a little bit of color. So we're going a lot lighter because this is gonna really play off on these cool toned eyeshadows that we're doing. And it's gonna really give that sort of late 90s feel to eyeshadows where it was really sculpted, you know? We're gonna do a little bit on the brow, just the high point here. So you don't wanna go all over like we used to do. And once you start playing with your eyeshadows, this is gonna make everything fall right into place.
Okay, David, so what would you say is the fundamentals of a girly goth kind of look?
It's actually a really good question. I think one of the key things, which is what we're gonna see everywhere, is cool toned neutral eyeshadows.
Yeah.
Grays, whites, gunmetals, all those cool tones. Like the Icy Nude palette from Huda Beauty, it's so gorgeous. Like, we're gonna be playing with this white and this gray. It's so perfect for that era. It's such a fun change too. We've seen so much warm, right? This is the time. That's what happens with trends. We just wanna see new things. So I'm gonna first go into this really gorgeous matte white called Avalanche, and that's what we're gonna start with. And we're gonna apply this right on top of where we applied that lighter concealer.
I also love that we're doing cool tones because I, as someone who feels more on the warmer side, would stray away from cool tones.
Love that you said this.
Yes, talk us through that because, you know, for anyone who might feel like cool tones don't look good on them or maybe it doesn't show up.
The truth is, anyone can use a cool toned eyeshadow. It's just how you do it. The colors, the shades, the techniques. I personally love deep skin tones with cool eyeshadows. It's a gorgeous look. Play with it. Like anything, you can always take it off if you don't like it. Okay, so now we're gonna dip into this beautiful gray. I love gray eyeshadows. This is the epitome of whimsy goth. We're gonna go into the shade called Poised. It's a beautiful, cool tone gray.
I'm excited to see how you manipulate this on my face.
It's gonna look so good. We're gonna start on the outer corner here. We're gonna do little blends. We're gonna bring it through the crease. And we're gonna let it melt into that white.
In this gothic, girly gothic, kind of whimsical goth trend, like, what does the technique look like?
That's a great question because it's a lot simpler.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see a return to simpler makeup, and it doesn't need to have all the graphic bells and whistles, right? Of like all these lines and really cut and harsh, you know, creases and stuff. It's more soft. It's more shadowy, a little bit more effortless feeling.
A little more blown out.
Blown out, exactly. Watercolor style makeup, you know, where it just sort of blends right into the eye. It's really pretty, it's really soft. Easier to do for the average person too, I think. And what I love about a gray like this, it picks up this sort of bluish tone to it. So it almost has the feeling of a color like an icy blue, but it's gray, so it still is a neutral. It's such a gorgeous way to play with neutrals that still will feel fresh and exciting. Gonna go back into that same gray, with a smaller brush. I'm gonna have you look up. We're gonna take this really close under the eye, very soft, just to add a little smokiness, but not a tremendous amount. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is a huge trend. This is with eyeliners. We're gonna see a shift away from winged cat eyes. Now listen, you can still do them if you love them, but what we're gonna see heavily, and we're already seeing it on runways and editorials, it's just rimming the eye with a kajal or a deep coal black liner. It's witchy, it's mysterious, it's fabulous. Have you ever done this before?
Yes, and here's what I love about trends is that they literally come back around. I'm like, I was living with some black liner all around.
100%.
I would do it to where I would overly do it in my waterline, close my eye really tight so it would get on the top.
This technique actually is really great too if you have shorter lashes, because doing this makes your lashes, once you apply mascara, look a little bit longer and thicker. It's just giving an intensity to her lashes, and there's no mascara even on there yet. So I'm gonna have you close for me. We're gonna do a little bit right into the lash line from above, and I'm just sort of brushing this through the lashes. Now I'm gonna take a brush, just smoke it out a little. Really easy way to just get a nice smoky defined liner. It's just so pretty. Now we gotta do the waterline.
I love that this is coming back too.
Me too. This is one of my favorite things. This is just gonna make your natural eye shape look gorgeous. So now Carla does love a little fake lash, which I love too. So that's the beauty of trends, make them your own, right? So I'm gonna throw on a little fake lash and then we're gonna come back. Okay, we added a little lash on, mostly towards the outer end, give a little lift, love it. But we need some mascara now. So I'm gonna dive into the new House Labs mascara, which I'm so excited to try.
We love the lady.
We love the lady so much, and honestly, I'm obsessed with this wand. So good for detailing, getting all the lashes you need. House Labs, this might quickly become my new favorite mascara.
The shape of it,
do you see the differences in the shape in that?
Yeah.
I haven't actually used a mascara that's had this person. I'm having a geek out little makeup moment. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get a little bottom lash.
Bottom lash moment.
Definitely big in this trend. Get those bottom lashes, add to that sort of slight smokiness of the liner. Okay, so a huge trend. This is gonna be very shocking for a lot of you. We're gonna see a shift more back to soft matte skin. You love that, right?
Not a shock to all.
Not a shock to all. And some people are gonna be loving this. I mean, we've heavily had the dewy skin, the glowing skin. Really with this trend, especially with goth, it was all about hyper matte. Even the 90s whimsy goth was matte. We're seeing now soft mattes. So I've already powdered down with a setting powder Carla's complexion, just so that she has that soft porcelain skin. That's right on cue. And what we're gonna see is a lot more powdered blushes again. Move a little bit away from the creams and the liquid blushes. They're fantastic, and again, pick the time and the place, but there's a great time like this for a beautiful powder blush. This is a face palette from Sephora collection. It's so cute, by the way.
It's adorable.
This is the medium to tan. They actually have 3 different sets for different skin tones. And these are really beautiful baked powders. So they're matte, but they're not flat, which is key, right? We're gonna elevate this. We're gonna bring this to the modern era, 2025. We're gonna give it a little bit dimension. I'm gonna be going into this shade right here. And then with the brush, I wanna use a loose brush because I want this really soft. I'm going to just tap on the high point of the cheek, lifting it up. Okay, so the next trend, key trend, big thing you're gonna see a lot of is dark lips. I know this isn't really your thing.
But is goth complete without a dark lip?
It's not. That's a perfect point. So what we're seeing is a return to those deep burgundies, those really deep browns, even blacks. Like, have fun, go to town. I'm gonna be using on Carla the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil. These are great multitasking pencils. I'm gonna be using the shade Limitless Brown. It's a really deep, rich, more neutral brown, slightly warm, but more neutral. And this is gonna be used as the lip liner and a little bit of a lipstick. So what I love about these is they are creamy, but they're also dry. So that's why they work so well as like eyeliners, lip liners, everything, but also as like a lipstick. So I can take my lip brush and just softly feather that edge. It's such a fast technique, as you can see. It really just develops itself as you blend this in towards the lip from the line. And honestly, this takes me back, because in the 90s, we really didn't have matte lipsticks at all. So we used liners over the whole lip to create those iconic 90s matte lips. Okay, so the final step, I do wanna add a little bit of glossiness, sheen to the lip. This is where we're gonna get a play on some of the differences in textures and modernize this trend, so we're not doing it exactly the way it was done in the 90s. So we're gonna add a little bit of sheen. I'm gonna use the new Glossier Black Cherry Balm.com, and it's a really pretty balm that has just a touch of color to it. This is absolutely beautiful. Doing it this way with like the darker liner, leaving some of the natural skin tone, and then using a sheer balm that has a tint really gives this a levity and a lightness that makes dark lips feel fun, fresh. I'm obsessed with this combo on you. This is the perfect touch of goth, dark, but still really sexy, great for the winter fall season. Okay, Carla, the moment has come for the reveal.
Let's see it.
Take a look.
Okay, my villain era has been unlocked.
Yes, it is.
This is my villain origin story.
I love it. Okay, so of all the trends, which one do you think you'll be most likely to rock in 2025?
It's the lip for me. The way that you did it was so beautifully done. I'm shook, inspired. It's coming out in 2025.